And away we go.
And it is episode 30. 30, damn, a lot of them. Been doing this for a while. That's Steve, I'm Al.
30 part one.
Part one, sponsored by Hat Creek, fried chicken sandwich, tater tots, dragon fruit smoothie. They're kind of a local chain.
I got the Cobb salad, which is really decent. I got the... I didn't get the grilled chicken. I got the breaded chicken, and I got honey mustard and hot mustard.
Yeah.
Honey mustard, I put on the actual chicken, and then hot mustard.
Right. And they're a local chain, and if you've got kids, they've got a nice play space and stuff. You know.
And
anyway,
it's a decent salad.
Yeah. So we were going to begin by talking about one of the latest Orwellian talk-arounds, as I put it, with Trump and the funding for TSA. So first, let's lay out what actually did happen. What actually did happen is there was a bipartisan bill or agreement or whatever you want to call it between the Democrats and the Republicans to basically fund just TSA. All the weirdness that they're trying to get doing with other things, that would not be addressed, but just to fund TSA so that could move forward and we could, airports would be better. We can talk about how bad they got. But Trump rejected that. We know that too. But then at the very end of the week, and I still can't seem to get a clear answer because there are headlines and people keep saying, no, that's not right. No, that's not right. But Trump's words, again, we don't necessarily believe them, are that he somehow pulled money to temporarily pay for TSA, but long-term, nothing has actually been fixed. So that's the short version. We're going to say a word or two more about how bad things got at the airport, and then that's going to be it.
Well, yeah. So hopefully everybody knows what the hell we're talking about here. People aren't getting paid, not showing up. TSA lines are around the corner, out the door, down the freaking mile, down the road, out the door, down the sidewalk, down the road. And
but apparently think people are getting through onto planes with things that, actual, things that could be considered weapons and stuff.
Contraband or whatever.
Contraband, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that worried. But I'm more worried about waiting.
More like hammers and knives, not
guns.
Yeah, nothing crazy. But
all that's bullshit anyways to begin with.
well,
But
yeah.
So, and now it looks like Trump's trying to worm his way out of this shit somehow and save face when he's gonna lose. Like he loses on everything. He's gonna lose in Iran. He's gonna lose everything. He can't. He just gets himself in these fucking.
Some of it is he picks the wrong battles.
He gets himself backed up against the wall. There's no way out.
Yeah.
Because he's so dumb, and this is not like one of his companies. He can just file bankruptcy and get a parachute and bail out with a bunch of money somehow, and then go do it again somewhere else.
No, this is one of those things.
He did do it 3 times or twice in the fucking
but,
presidency. But,
yeah.
But my God, dude, he's just every time he thinks that there's somehow he's going to get his way out of this thing, and what he's saying.
He has
all
so
this
far.
shit's
That's the
going to catch
disgusting
up
part.
to him.
But if he's still alive by that point, yeah.
Right,
but,
if he doesn't just croak from a heart attack, this shit's going to catch up to him, and he's going to be in jail. But my God, this guy is so freaking ridiculous.
Oh, related thing, just to, apparently part of what he was doing had nothing to do with ICE. He was actually holding the stuff hostage to try and push through the SAVE Act, and the last I heard, they finally killed that in the Senate. So
yeah, so let's just start with. I don't know. Did we talk about this?
No, not really. Yeah,
that was the whole fucking holdup because he was trying to throw in stuff with the budget that didn't belong there. Remember?
Yeah, that had nothing to do
with this. And then they're trying to say you can't do that. And he's like, if you don't put in the SAVE Act, these guys aren't getting paid. And then they try to blame the Democrats once again. Democrats are holding it up. They're like, no, dude, we're just not going to pass legislation that's going to disenfranchise 20% of the population.
Right, at least, yeah. Democrats actually proposed at least 7 different possible bills that would have paid TSA without having to go into the rest of this crap.
Right.
So yeah, no.
We're getting in the weeds here, but basically, once again, he's trying to, what's that word I'm looking for? Strong arm somebody. He's when you're not ransom money, but when you're trying to hijack somebody or force them to do something, and yeah, and it didn't work as usual. And like you said, well, they're like, okay, well, let's just separate this out in some different legislation so that it's not tied in with this stuff. And of course, they couldn't get that through either. But it's extortion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to extort people, like he did. Art of the deal. Everything's extortion.
Oh, and it's up front. If you read even just a fraction of that book, it's what he does, and it's disgusting because it's basically, you BS people until they catch on, and then you give them different BS. I mean, that's essentially
or extortion.
Right. One other point is just the way these people weasel shit. It's not even funny. Like there was a reporter, a very, very good question from the reporter, who brought up to Mike Johnson the fact that they're trying to supposedly get rid of mail-in voting, and yet Trump is still using mail-in voting. And Mike Johnson's response was so idiotic. He was like, well, that's because Florida knows what they're doing. No! There's the equal amount of fraud in that program throughout the entire United States, which is to say essentially none. So, no. Just, damn, jackass. God.
Their ability to compartmentalize ideas.
I mean, they think people are stupid,
so
and I guess they're right, but still.
They have no integrated thinking. So anytime there's some cognitive dissonance between compartmentalized ideas, they just go, nope, can't put it together.
Oh, one key thing that I will say that came up in a conversation online the other day is I used to believe that standardizing voting across the states would be a good thing. I still sort of do, but this shows why it could be problematic. You don't having different rules, not hugely different, but different jurisdiction for those rules in different states is kind of a safety valve. Mm-hmm. So, to an extent, I don't know.
I would have to think through the details on that, but. I think I just want to say one more thing, maybe wrap.
Yeah, that's about all we have to say on the matter.
So with this TSA deal, and this is, kind of getting off somewhat on a different subject, but it's tied in here. Is they send in these ICE agents.
Oh, that's bad. I've seen some of it.
So here you are. You're not going to pay the TSA guys to do a job, right? And also, this is a power play which was written in Project 2025. Yep. So the whole thing with the Heritage Foundation, and I don't know why I know they're trying to attack every government agency and everything and trying to privatize everything, right? Why the TSA though? But it's literally in this Project 2025 to defund it, have it go south, right, and fuck it all up, and then privatize it was their plan, right? Well, this is a part of that execution of that plan. So yeah, that's one more thing we could toss in there too. So another thing.
But you've got TSA agents ICE agents literally boarding planes trying to abduct people with no warrant still, of course. No
justification.
Yeah, no
They're not even saying why. I mean, people are. I was going to get into that.
Go ahead.
So now they have the ICE agents in these things, right? So you see the videos of this stuff. Now, granted, this is just your video, so who knows what's actually happening. But what these videos are highlighting a couple different things. They're standing around doing nothing. They're not like checking bags or checking things or helping assist with the long lines.
Anything they're supposed to be doing.
They're supposed to be doing there, right? So what are they doing there? They're there to legitimize and to desensitize.
And to intimidate.
And well, that's what I'm saying. They're there to legitimize, desensitize, and intimidate and make this the norm. So that you will get used to watching this wherever you go. It doesn't matter if you're in the airport, you're walking down the street, whatever, that you're going to have these these goons wandering around, intimidating and harassing people is all they're really doing. Because outside of seeing videos of them standing around, I have yet to see them assisting in any sort of way. The second one is people getting dragged out of planes and down, and whatever, and torn apart from their children and other horrific bullshit. And what I find really disheartening is a word I like to use quite often because it makes you sad. It's the minorities and the women.
Yeah.
So many of them. And
almost, except the only point where that isn't exclusive is when other people stand up for them and then they're told, no, you got to come too because you can't interfere here.
I'm talking about the ICE agents
Yeah.
being minorities and women.
Right. Oh, the ICE agents who are minorities and women.
Yes.
Oh, that's
what I'm
disgusting.
saying
Yeah,
is disheartening.
Right.
I'm not talking about the victims.
Yeah,
I'm talking
I
about
follow you
these
now.
videos.
I follow you now.
The majority of them that I'm seeing in the airports, and maybe they sent those people into the airports because they're not the ones who are going to probably bash heads in. And to also just prove to the public that, it's just not white fascists.
Well, part of the reason why those people are signing up is because one of our later topics, which is to say they need a job. I mean, that's that simple.
So this is
They
why
need the money.
I find this so disheartening, because there's two things going on. One is, I think with some of this Hispanic, especially Hispanic men, it's this proximity to power. And it happens to women too. Or they just get trauma bonded with this stuff. And they, and it's this whole beholden to authority, beholden to, the savior. And religion plays a big part in this. I know people probably think that, like, oh man, that's a stretch, dude. But
No, it's not at all, unfortunately.
It's not a stretch at all. It's this authoritarianism that they relate to because of religion. And and they come from these impoverished areas that we created with our foreign policy and everything else and capitalism. They come here and they want to please daddy and be a good citizen. And they think this is the way to do it. Not understanding deep in what is going on in actuality here. That they're being used, they're being abused, and they're being manipulated and gaslit. And that's what I find so disheartening. Because I don't think they understand what they're doing. Some of them are probably doing it for the money, which is just as disgusting, if not more disgusting, actually, than somebody who's just kind of duped. I mean, if you really know that this is bullshit, you're just doing it because I would get my paycheck. You're worse than the person duped, in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but that's just the way my brain operates.
Yeah, except there's also the notion though that it's wrong. Every fiber of you knows it's wrong, but
right.
you really need the money. I mean, that's the
right, and that's what capitalism does to you. So so you have the people that it's like when you see minorities and stuff in the police force, and it's like, why are you doing this, man? Like, are you nuts, my friend? So so that's what I find bizarre. And there was this one kid, and he just looked so weak and frail and young. And you know what it kind of sort of reminded me of, in a bizarre way. And once again, made this it was like those videos of the Hitler Youth that they dragged out of.
Oh, it's not that different.
And they're just like, oh, and they're scared and they don't know what the hell is going on. Now this kid signed up, right? And kids
right.
signed up for it. But at the end of the war and stuff, and this is all that's left in his 14. That's what this kid looked like. He looked like he was scared shitless, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing there. And of course, he got made fun of by everybody. Oh, look at Opie here. And I'm like, you know what? I find this way more sad. Look, making fun of him because of his looks and because of this and that, I think is missing the whole point here. The whole point is, look at what they've done to this kid. Look at what they've done to this poor little kid who should be at home reading a book. Because that's the kind of kid he looks like to me, who got roped into this
or in college or playing video games or working at McDonald's or whatever.
And I bet you, actually, if he wasn't brainwashed by his parents and the fucking society, he wouldn't be standing there right now getting made fun of by people. He might be a decent kid who's actually, he looks like a dork. He's like a fucking fun dude to hang out with. To me, that's like my brain would go to. Not that, oh, look what they're doing. They're bringing Opie out there. So why do I have a soft heart? I don't know. But like I said, he's too young and still this is the manipulation that's going on. And like I said, this is why I find this so incredibly disheartening. Is these kids that are getting wrapped up, these minorities, these women that are involved in this stuff, and this is indoctrination, manipulation. When it comes to these white supremacists who are actually activating a lot of this violence and everything else, fuck them. Go fuck yourself. Go, you suck a dick, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I have no empathy for you whatsoever. Zero. What else do you want to know?
On this topic, I think we just about hit it. So,
right.
We
kind of wrapped ICE into this.
I'm not even.
There's a reason to wrap ICE.
Oh yeah, because they're part of it. Well, they're part of it in two ways. One, there's like we said, they've been called out to supposedly do a TSA job,
right.
And the other part is that initially they were trying to tie the budget holdup to the ICE funding, which is also ridiculous because they've already paid for ICE for the next 3 years.
Right.
So it doesn't even make any sense.
None of this makes sense. It's all stupid. I'm out of here.